Yo, welcome back everybody to a brand new video here on the second channel, and today we're going to be looking at some online tournament results here post NEIC, just kind of seeing what the format is shaping up to be right now, what decks are winning. There are some interesting decks right now that are actually making top 8 at some tournaments, and of course, with cups and challenges now returning for the new season, these results could give you an idea of what you might want to bring to any cup and challenge that you have coming up very, very soon. And I'm excited to see what people are playing post NEIC. How have the NEIC results impacted the online tournaments? Now, of course, you all are new here to the second channel. Make sure to subscribe down below. We actually just hit 24,000 subs. So big thank you, everybody, for helping me reach that sub goal. I guess now the next sub goal is 25K subs. Maybe 25% to 100K. So if you want to help me reach that goal, subscribe down below. And I'll leave a link to play.limitless down below if you want to go play in an online tournament for yourself, of course. So starting off here, we got the Grace Pokemon League tournament. A lot of the tournaments actually have been fairly large from what I've seen. We even have a 500, almost 600 player tournament to look at in this video. So yeah, this tournament here was won by Dragapult, and it looks like it was the Tord Dragapult deck here, as we do see the Maractus in there, if you can kind of see that. Maractus got the Neo Upper, the Double Monkey Dory. It's basically just like the Tord variant of the Dragapult deck. I mean, it's pretty good, right? Just being able to use cards like Maractus to stop the more aggressive decks that don't play as many switch outs, and then obviously just having Double Monkey. I mean, it's just Dragapult. Is it better than the other Dragapult variants? We're going to have to see if there's any Dragadusk, but I'm not surprised to see this deck win. It actually was able to take down Charizard EX here. Now, ever since Gabe Fernandez won NEIC, I've actually been seeing a lot more Charizard recently, and I think that's just because people realize Charizard is still a good deck. As you can see, it's like a simple version. There's no Dusknoir. This is the build like that Gabe Fernandez used, and I think this deck is definitely catching a lot of attention right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Charizard started winning tournaments. But yeah, this build does have the Monkey Dory. In there's a monkey in there, and the A-Spec being a max spell. I think max spell makes a lot of sense within Charizard right now in general. And then, yeah, the Mist Energy is also really cute to help against TM Devolution and Adrenabrain. So if you're playing against Gardevoir, you're playing against Grimmsnarl, usually what they'll try to do is they'll try to set up a Devo play on your Charizard, slap a Mist Energy on it, and then they're not Devoing your Zard. Mist Energy is a really good card right now, in my opinion, because nobody's playing Enhanced Hammer. So yeah, this Zard list looks pretty good, and I mean, I do think Charizard is back. I've been seeing a lot more Charizard recently on the ladder and also in the online tournaments, and even at my locals, there was a few of them. I was at a, what was it, it was like a 90-player League Cup yesterday. There's a few Charizards. So yeah, we got a Grimmsnarl deck here in top 4. Yeah, Grimmsnarl's doing pretty good right now, too. We see this build has Tatsugiri in it to help with the deck's consistency, because, again, there's really no engine in the deck. It's all about just kind of drawing into your supporters, and the Tatsugiri does help here. In the secret box, obviously, the A-Spec. No Devo in this build, I just realized. This build does not play the TM Devolution, which is a pretty big omission, but maybe sometimes you don't need it. We got another Zard in top 4. This one also playing the Monkey Dory, has the Dark Luminous and the Max Belt in there too. And yeah, just trying to lean more into the Monkey Dory idea. It's pretty similar to Gabe Fernandez's 60. Honestly, it might be the exact 60. You got the picnic basket in there and stuff. The Shiyu, yeah, pretty clean Zard 60 there. So yeah, 2 Zard in top 4. Like I said, this deck's making a comeback. In top 4, we have a really cool Clefairy Teal Mask Ogre Pawn deck. It's kind of like a Terra Box deck. There are still other Pokemon, right? You got the Clefairy and the Ogre, but then you still have the Terrapagos. There's a Volcanion in there to help do more damage. But more or less, it's just an aggressive Clefairy deck. You can see there's a couple Lily's Pearl in the deck, trying to make your Clefairy bulky. It's a deck I definitely wanted to try out. I've thought about playing this with Spidops, too, over Terrapagos, but Terrapagos does give you more consistency, because you can play Teal Dance plus Noctowl, which makes your deck stronger than just playing, like, Spidops, which I've thought of. But then you get more one prizers. But I think it's cool. Clefairy is pretty good right now against Dragapult, Raging Bull, which are 2 very popular decks. And this is maybe like a decent little like mini Terra Box deck if you're not really wanting to play the old Terra Box. We have a Spidops deck here, but this one made top 8 with Crobat in it. Okay, so it's like a Crobat Team Rocket Spidops deck. So it's not really playing the Mewtwo, right? There's no Mewtwo in here. Just trying to lean more into Spidops as your main attacker. Spidops is a pretty decent attacker, right? I mean, does 180 damage, and there's a lot of Charizard and Grimmsnarl right now, as you can see. I mean, there's 2 Zards in top 8, so, like, probably not bad. And then the Crobat can help fix some of the math with the Golbat. And they even got Max Belt in there for some more damage, so I like it. It's more of an aggressive Spidops deck. Spidops bats. I like it. It's a pretty cool 60 there. We have a couple Guardies in top 8. I mean, yeah, no surprise there. Gardevoir is pretty good right now. 1 NEIC. This build does play the Drifloon, though. The Triple Candy. It's not like the one we saw Isaiah Bradner win NEIC with. Yeah, another Guardy here. But this one does play the Quad Monkey, but there's no Turbo Energize. It's actually playing Fluttermane and Tiamat Devolution, which sneakily is pretty good right now in Gardevoir. It's a lot better into some of your more awkward matchups like Goldengo, for example. Fluttermane Devo can be very annoying to deal with. Is it the best way to play Guardy right now? I don't know, but Fluttermane Devo definitely I have been seeing a lot more of recently. Somebody who plays Goldengo, I don't like it. All right, next we got the Pumpkin Amy tournament, which was won by Dragapult Charizard, the classic deck here. I mean, yeah, Charizard's pretty good. Whether you're playing it with Pidgeot or whether you're playing it with Dragapult, it's pretty strong. This variant does play the Chiyu in it to help into the Raging Bolt and the Goldengo matchup. Plays Unfair Stamp. Has a Watchtower in there to be a little bit more disruptive. Only 3 Luminous Energy, but up the count of fire to 6, though, to have access to more fire. I guess it makes sense you're playing the Chiyu in the deck. I did win the tournament. It was able to beat Flareon in the finals, which is a pretty good matchup for Zard. Flareon's strong, but can struggle against Charizard. Actually, looking at this build, there's no Sylveon. It actually just opts to be more of an aggressive Flareon deck with a Pidgeot line in the deck, and then it has Leafeon. So you still have a bit of type coverage with Leafeon. You have the Flareon still, but you're not playing the Sylveon in the deck. But, you know, you did put the Pidgeot in there. I like the idea of Pidgeot and Flareon. It's something that I've thought about trying out myself. It's just very clunky and a little bit hard to pull off, especially if you're, like, playing all the evolution stuff. It's just hard to fit it. But I like it. You know, Flareon, I think, is actually pretty underrated right now. There's not a lot of it going around because it's just like people don't want to play because it's like hard, but it's cool to see it in the finals. Yep, we got another Charizard Pidgeot deck here in the top 4, but this one does have Hero's Cape as opposed to Max Belt, but still plays that Mist Energy, so it's still trying to be annoying with the Charizard. Like a Charizard Mist Energy Hero's Cape is pretty devious because it's hard to deal with that Charizard because you can't Devo it, has a lot of HP, and it's swinging for like a bunch of damage against you. And then obviously Monkey Dory added into the mix to give it some healing. It's pretty dang good. See, it's pretty insane to see Charizard make such a rebound in the format right now as its own archetype. Got a Raging Bolt here. Pretty simple stuff. Has the Blood Moon in the deck. Cool, cool. Yeah, Raging Bolt, also pretty good right now. It's a pretty strong deck. All right, let's see what else we got here. It lets me go back. There we go. Another Guardy here. Let's see if this one has any technology. No, it's just kind of, okay, it's like the NEIC build, the Turbo Energize, and the Quad Monkey Dory in that Guardy build. That makes sense. Yeah, Guardy's broken, man. Best deck in the format. It's a BDIF. We'll see if there's any more of that Fluttermane stuff. We got another Zard. Wait, did I already see this? No, okay, it's a different Zard. Yeah, we got another Charizard in top 8. This one, once again, playing Max Belt Mist Energy Monkey. I like that. Like, if I'm playing Charizard right now, I'm playing Mist Energy Monkey. What if we play double Mist Energy? What if we went Mist Energy Charizard and then Mist Energy Pidgeot? Whew. Yo, imagine. Then they just can't get devoed. Our board is just insane. I like it. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, Mist Energy is really good right now in Charizard. I like it. There's a lot of Zard, man. It's just kind of crazy to see this deck make such a crazy rebound. But with all the Guardian stuff and, like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, here we go. Another Guardy with the Devo. Or no, the Fluttermane. But there's no Devo. Just says Fluttermane. I saw the Fluttermane. I'm like, yo, was there Devo in here? But there's no Devo. Just Fluttermane. Yeah, Fluttermane could be good in Guardy right now. Just it helps a lot in certain matchups. But I don't know, there's no Devo. But yeah, Fluttermane is kind of annoying. It's good in Mirror too. You can like boss the Gardevoir in the active spot and like trap it. All right. And we got our Archaludon top 8 here. It's the old classic Archaludon Venture Bomb deck we saw from the beginning of the format. This deck's pretty cool too. Hasn't really seen a lot of success, but I do like it. I think it's a decent little archetype. The Venture Bombs are pretty good. And then you got the Hero's Cape for the extra HP. Still play Monkey Dory, so if you missed the monkeys, you got that. You got the League headquarters. I think the build originally I played Watchtower, but this build you can see squeezed in some League headquarters into the deck. All right. Next up, we got the Challenge of Doom, and this was won by a deck that also I've been seeing a lot more of, and that's Crustle Iron Thorns. Now, this deck has been doing good in online tournaments. I've been seeing it pop up a lot more now, making top 8s, and in this case, it won a tournament. So this crazy, disruptive rogue deck is now starting to make a name for itself. I hit one at a cup yesterday, which was pretty scary, because, like, if your deck literally doesn't have a way to beat Crustle, like, you lose. Also, even if your deck does have outs to beating Crustle, like, this deck is still very tough to deal with because you get slowed down by Iron Thorns, and the deck has a decent amount of healing. We see the Pokevital A as the A spec, which is what heals the Crustle, and then you got the Super Potion in the deck too to heal the Crustle even more. Yeah, this deck is pretty annoying, but I wouldn't be surprised if this deck started winning more. It's been popping up a little bit. It's kind of one of the new, like, cheese disruption decks. And I mean, Iron Thorns in general is, like, pretty solid right now, in my opinion. A lot of decks don't really have answers to it. You can probably see why Fluttermane is in the Guardian list in general. Just not only is it good in, like, certain other matchups, but you kind of need the Fluttermane to beat this Iron Thorns deck. So yeah, this Iron Thorns Crustle deck has been popping up. So making a name for itself. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit more of it in this video. Yeah, and in this case, it was able to win the tournament. It beat Dragapult Charizard in the finals. But not surprised to see that this Dragapult Charizard list didn't really respect the Crustle. It does have a Monkey Dory, but the Crustle plays Mist Energy, so they just go Mist Energy on their Crustle, and they can't get Monkey Doried, they can't get confused. They can still get Adrenabrained, but this build doesn't play Shiyu, which is probably making a big difference. There's no Shiyu in here. Shiyu obviously would help a lot against Crustle. Would probably make that matchup a little bit more winnable. This build does not play Shiyu, which makes the matchup pretty hard to win, I want to say. Yeah, that Crustle Thorns deck's diabolical. Then we got Raging Bolt here in top 4. Pretty simple list here. It's got an E-Switch in there. Yeah, pretty normal Raging Bolt. 60. I think like Raging Bolt's been like the 58, 59 cards been figured out. Another Polt here. This one was Polt Dustnor, though, with that Neo Upper. Just played the double Jamming Tower. It's got Monkey in there. It's got Shaman. A little bit more teched out. Yeah, Polt Dusk's still really good. I mean, if you're good at the game and you want to challenge yourself, it's definitely a challenging deck to pilot correctly because you got to know when to pop your Dusks and kind of when to spread out the damage and stuff. But yeah, Polt Dustnor is obviously still really strong and still a very powerful and aggressive deck right now. A couple of Grimmsnarls here in the top 8 of this tourney. This one's got the Tatsugiri. If you can see it here, this one's got, Tatsugiri. A lot more Tatsugiri in the Grim decks. So, I don't know, if you're somebody's playing Grimmsnarl and you're either liking the Pokegear or the extra draw supporters, maybe also try out the idea of Tatsugiri to help with the deck's consistency, because it finds you supporter cards, which is what it's for. And it just helps with the consistency overall. Another Grimmsnarl list here. This one also plays Tatsugiri, so we're seeing a lot more Tatsugiri now in the Grim lists. So that's interesting. So, I don't know, man. Is Tatsugiri good in Grimmsnarl? Not too sure. Seems okay. All right, so below the Grimmsnarl, there's a Terapagos Noctowl. That's a deck I haven't seen in a while. It's kind of like the old build we saw from like the past format. It's got the boofs in there. Even plays a Pidgeot, double Monkey Dory, Hero's Cape. Does play a different bit of energy though, so you can kind of lean more into using Crown Opal, which I'm sure helps a lot against Raging Bull, which would probably be a tough matchup for this deck overall. Or maybe not even tough. It would be a little scary. But yeah, it's interesting to see this Terapagos deck do well again. Again, I'm not too sure it beats Guardy, but it's like decent still. It's like not a bad deck, and it is nice to see it again. Playing the different energy types to help in different matchups. Trying to use Crown Opal more, which is a pretty good attack. And then finally, we got another Guardy here in the top 8. Playing the Quad Monkey and the Turbo Energize, kind of the NEIC build we saw do well. All right, so that was that tournament, which, interestingly enough, yeah, we see that, what was it? The Crustle Thorns deck winning it. Kind of crazy to see Crustle Thorns take it down. All right, next up, we got the Blue Ditto tournament here, and the winning deck was good old Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt being a menace as per usual. So yeah, this Raging Bolt build does play the Sea Power. It's actually the Noctowl build, which we saw won that Japan Championship. So is it the best way to play Raging Bolt over the Noctowls? Because it's a little more aggressive, right? Not too sure. The Noctowls do give you more power, and this build is a little bit more like, not random, but like you don't have as much agency over your plays, I feel like. But yeah, won the tournament. It beat a Raging Bolt in the finals. From what it looks like here, yeah, it took down a Raging Bull in the finals, which is pretty funny. So a little bit of a Raging Bull war here. This one was playing Noctowl, so there you go. The battle of the Raging Bolt decks in the finals. The 2 different builds. No Noctowls and Noctowls. Kind of crazy. All right. Let's see here. We got a couple Flareon. So the top 4 was Raging Bull and Flareon. Flareon build does play the Umbreon in the deck, which I do like the idea of Umbreon in Flareon right now because it does help against Guardy, which is not a easy matchup, right? I was going to say it's not a hard matchup, but it actually is pretty hard. And then, yeah, still has all the other EVs. Got the Flareon, Leafeon, Sylveon in there, Clefairy, Terapagos, Latias, Area Zero. There's no Gravity Mountain, which is, I think, a decent tech card also to have for Gardevoir. Honestly, why not play both Umbreon and Gravity at that point? Just, like, over tech for Guardy. Yeah, I don't know, man. The deck's broken. Yeah, it's cool. Then we got another Flareon here in the top 4. This one was not playing the Umbreon. Just kept it with the Sylveon, Leafeon combo. Did have the Gravity Mountain, though. It might be what we saw. Same list from NEIC, or very similar to the NEIC list here from the looks of it. It's cool. I like Flareon. Just, it's an underrated deck. I think it's very powerful. It's not a bad deck to like bring to a Cupper Challenge right now. And then, yeah, we got Grim here, still making top 8. This one's got Maractus in it. This has also Blood Moon in the deck, so a little bit more extra text. No Tatsugiri, though. This one doesn't have the Tatsugiri that I've been seeing in the other Grimmsnarl decks. But it does have the Blood Moon and the Maractus. Maractus isn't bad against Raging Bolt. Just make it a little bit more awkward for them. The Blood Moon I like too. We had our Rockets Mewtwo in top 8. All right, cool. This one's got Persian EX in the deck, so this might be one of Persian's first times being on a Limitless tournament top 8 thing. So that's kind of cool to see. I like this Mewtwo deck. I mean, it's cool. Mewtwo's strong. Just I don't think it's the right time to play it, or it just doesn't feel like it's the right time to play it. But it's cool nonetheless. I think it's a pretty cool deck, regardless. Just somebody's got to crack a good 60 for it, I feel like, or it's got to have like one good placement out of regionals. Maybe it'll do well at Worlds. Not sure it gets better with Black Bolt White Flare, though. It doesn't seem like it gains any new cards. The Persian's cool, though, for the early game. You got the Spite Ops. More of like a toolbox deck, which I like. Like the idea of more of a toolbox approach to the Mewtwo deck. It's kind of cool. Another Flareon top 8. A lot of Flareon in this tournament's top 8. Jeez. Someone's also got the Pidgeot. Still plays Sylveon, too. But yeah, it's got the Pidgeot in there for the extra bit of support, which I do like. Because once you get past... Like, one of the things with Flareon is that one of the ways you can beat it is by, like, kind of locking them out of being able to do anything else after they kind of did their initial setup phase. So you get the Pidgeot out, you kind of do whatever you want, and then your deck just flows a lot better, which is really powerful. But usually, to get the Pidgeot out, you have to waste a Noctowl on it, and then you have to, like, Pidgeot for Crispin, and I don't know. It's, like, it's awkward, but it's cool. Still works, I guess. And then we have a Dragapult Zoroark deck in the top 8. I like this deck a lot. I think it's actually pretty solid right now. Zoroark is a pretty good card, and then being able to use Reshiram is nice to have a better out to Gardevoir, which is obviously a bad match for Dragapult. See, I like this deck a lot. I think this Zoroark, Reshiram, Dragapult deck is like actually fairly strong. And it's pretty underrated in my opinion. Maybe going into the Worlds format it could be better. With Rise of Jellicent. Just having Zoroark in your deck just overall is like just good against Gardevoir. All right, next up, we got the next Tournament of Doom here. This one was a lot bigger than the first one, and was won by Grimmsnarl here with a Tatsugiri and 9 Dark Energy. But yeah, once again, another Grimmsnarl with the Tatsugiri. Tatsugiri believers, rise up. The return of the Tatsugiri is here. It did beat Pult Dusnor in the finals, which is interesting. This Pult Dusnor build even had a Shaman in there. Interesting. But yeah, Pult Dust with a Latios too. For some extra mobility. It's not bad either. Yeah, I like it. It's cool. Was able to make it to the finals. Yeah, Pult Dusk, pretty strong deck. And then there's another Dragapult build. This one was the Pult Zard deck here in the finals, or the top 4, I should say. It's Pult Zard with the Shiyu in the deck. Also had a Watchtower in there for the 2 tech cards of choice to help a little bit more into like Raging Bolt and stuff. And then the Shiyu is obviously good into Goldengo, which is a bad matchup for Pult Zard usually. Yeah, the Shiyu, the matchup magically becomes a lot better. Got a Raging Bolt in top 4 here. With a 1-1 Noctowl. Well, this one's interesting. 1-1 Noctowl, so I guess it's more turbo-focused. It's like the turbo build, but just squeezed in a 1-1 line of Noctowl still for some insurance. Plays a Deduction Kit here. That's interesting. I haven't seen that card in a while. That's a crazy list. All right, I mean, hey, made it all the way to top 4 in a pretty big online tournament. It's kind of crazy. We had another Raging Bolt here in the top 8 here. This one does play the Noctowls. More classic approach. All right, here's where things get crazy. Because we got yet another Crustle Thorns in the top 8. Like I said, this deck is starting to make a name for itself. It's starting to be a real deck, which is kind of scary, to be honest. This deck is kind of spooky. But it's another Crustle Thorns. Once again, using that Poke Vital A as the A-Spec to heal the Crustle. It's got some practice studios in there to give your Crustles more HP. And then, yeah, it's got the Mist Energies and stuff for the Monkey Dories and the other shenanigans to try to do to Crustle. It's just an annoying wall deck, and it's starting to make a name for itself, man. It's starting to do good in online tourneys. We got a Toedscruel in the top 8. It's cool to see. Yeah, Toedscruel's pretty strong. I like the 60. It's pretty similar to Regen, so it's like probably the same. But yeah, Toedscruel. It's not a bad little deck right now, like I said. It's kind of not under the radar, but just not as popular as other decks, but still decent. Still a good deck. And it beats up on Grimmsnarl, and pretty good into Charizard right now, which we are seeing a lot more of, obviously, which is a big deal for the Toads. Now it's the top 8 of this tournament. And finally, we had the Smart Series tournament, which was run by Gabe Smart. This tournament had, like, nearly 600 people playing it. It was a big one. It was one of the biggest tournaments we've seen in a while, honestly, on Limitless. I haven't seen a tournament this big in quite some time. And we can look at the top 8 results here, because we do have Grimmsnarl taking down the tournament with the Tatsugiri. So once again, this Tatsugiri is popping up everywhere. This Grimmsnarl Tatsugiri deck, man. Crazy stuff. And we got the Devo in there, Seeker Box, Quad, a Monkey Dory. Does play the Shaman in there, too. No Budu. It was a big deal, actually. There's no Budu. So trying to be a bit more aggressive with the Grimmsnarl spread approach. But yeah, not playing any Budu in the deck. It's a pretty big notoriety there. And then it was able, looks like, to beat Terrorbox in the finals. I think this matchup's like probably kind of close. Maybe slightly favored for Grimmsnarl if they set up Frostlass quickly. Because then your Noctowls and Fanrotoms just taking a lot of damage. Like, you have a lot of Pokemon and play with an ability, so like eventually those Frostlass ticks will add up. You do have Teomass, though, so you do have a way to attack and knock out the Grimmsnarl. Even Pikachu can theoretically KO a Grimmsnarl because you can effectively use the Frostlass tick to knock out the Grimmsnarl. But yeah, Terrorbox making the finals. It's interesting. I mean, this deck might go in and out of popularity depending on if there's Shaman. Also, the other thing to note, the Grimmsnarl list in the finals had a Shaman in it, so probably didn't help at all. And yeah, we got 2 Zards in top 8. This one does play the Max Belt and the Mist Energy, which I think is really good right now in Zards. Yeah, a lot more Charizard doing well. It's like Charizard popping up a lot in these tournaments. It's crazy how Charizard Pidgeot has just rebounded out of nowhere. Because we all thought this deck was like dead, but I guess we just weren't playing it properly. We just got to play the heavy TM Evo and the heavy Pidgeotto engine. We got another build here. This one also plays Max Belt. Does have a Tatsugiri. So yeah, Tatsugiri is just everywhere right now. Does have the Shiyu, the Shaman in there. Still has the Monkey and stuff. The one Pidgeotto does play 3 candies though, so plays a heavier line of the rare candies. Yeah, more Charizard action. Crazy stuff. We have a Dragapult Dusknoir also in the top 8. This one's also got the Latias in there we saw, and the 2 Jamming Towers. Monkey Dory, the Shaman and stuff. Cool, cool. All right. What else do we got here? I think I saw a Joltik Box. Yeah, Joltik Box below it. Haven't seen this deck in a minute. But yeah, Joltik Box still, like, is pretty good, right? I mean, Dragapult, Gardevoir, Grimmsnarl are all matchups you can try to beat. And, well, especially the Grimmsnarl matchup. This deck does have a good time in a Grimmsnarl, which is still pretty popular. This one has a Volcanion in it, which can help with the damage output, and also good into like other Pikachus for what it's worth, even though there's not really much Pikachu right now. But the Volcanion's kind of a cute little tech. Even has Gravity Mount in there for the Guardy matchup, so you can blow up the Gardevoir with the Pikachu. And then what else do we got here? We got a Guardian top 8 once again, playing the Fluttermane and the Devo and the Quad Monkey Dory. So once again, well, I guess you can't see the Fluttermane, my bad. The Fluttermane right there, yeah. The Fluttermane popping up in Guardy with the Devo. Pretty annoying. Good into Goldengo. Good into like any evolution deck. And obviously good into like Polt and Grimmsnarl probably too. So yeah, pretty strong Guardy list. And then finally in the top 8 here, we did have another Charizard Pidgeot deck. So yeah, this deck, just crazy to see Charizard so popular again. We've seen more Charizard Pidgeot than we did see Dragapult Charizard, which you would think would be the more popular build, but I don't know, man. Gabe Fernandez was like, yo, Charizard Pidgeot's still great right now. You got to play it. And yeah, everyone just kind of ran with it. Plays Max Belt in there, has a Jamming Tower. No Mist Energy, though, but it's pretty similar to the Gabe Fernandez 60, I think. And there you go. Those are the recent week of online tournament results. Some things to take away. We're still seeing a lot of the big 3, like the Dragapults, the Guardies, the Grimmsnarls do well, but we are seeing some newcomers in the format right now have results, like the Crustle Iron Thorn stack popping up a lot more. It won a tournament, and then obviously we're seeing a lot of Charizard. Charizard has been just fully coming back into the format. We are seeing a lot of Charizard right now. So Charizard definitely is on the rise again. So it's not a bad time to play a grass deck like Toadcool or that Clefairy Ogre Pond deck we saw. So not a bad time to play those decks right now. We're going to see a lot more Charizard pop up in the meta. But there you go. Those are the online tournament results post NEIC. Again, if you got any cups or challenges coming up, which, they have returned, it's not a bad time to look at these results and maybe pick a deck you might like here and then try it out, practice it a bit, and then, bring it to a cup or challenge, because these results, I think, do have an impact on what people might bring to cups and challenges right now at the start of the new season. Hope you enjoyed. I'll leave a link to Limitless down below if you want to go check out the tournaments for yourself, playing in the online tournaments. Catch you later. Bye-bye.